The role of product owner. Product owner responsibilities. In Mural, do product owner responsibilities activity. Think about where to place the responsibilities into the correct box. Be able to justify why you put it there. Feel free to add anything. When you've done, then consider what qualities or characteristics of a PO might be useful. The role of the product owner. Responsible for developing and explicitly communicating the product goal. Responsible for the product success and return on investment. Accountable for effective backlog management and maximizing the value of the product. Defining the valued added and key features of the product by creating product backlog items. Clearly articulating the value of product backlog items. Set the development schedule by prioritizing and ordering the product backlog items. Order the product backlog to achieve usable product increments that earn a return for the organization as soon as possible. Responsible for the release and operation of the product. Represents the needs and interests of stakeholders proactively, including the developers. Ensures the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. Accepts or rejects work results in the sprint. Steers and guides the work, is available to answer questions on a daily basis. Product owner characteristics. A leader who can encourage and inspire others, set and communicate clear goals. Relationship builder. Able to balancing the needs of the Scrum team, users, and business goals. Able to facilitate diverse stakeholders, to gain consensus and diffuse conflicts of interest. Strong communicator. Able to see the big picture and drill into the detail. Ability to co-create with stakeholders to foster alignment and buy-in. Confidence to do what they believe is best for the product and the organization to meet the business objectives. Challenge the organization to reduce the cycle time taken to action, product feedback from end users on the released product. Relationship with the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. They are there for the Scrum team in a facilitation and coaching role. Whilst they do not have responsibility for the creation of the content, they are responsible for enabling and guiding others in applying the Scrum framework. The Scrum Master should be supporting the product owner in carrying out the product owner role as defined in the Scrum Guide. Removing any organizational impediments. Enabling the PO to be a single person and not a committee. Supporting the PO in the facilitation of stakeholders' alignment with product goals. Relationship with the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. They are there for the Scrum team in a facilitation and coaching role. Whilst they do not have responsibility for the creation of the content, they are responsible for enabling and guiding others in applying the Scrum framework. The Scrum Master should be supporting the product owner in carrying out the product owner role as defined in the Scrum Guide. Removing any organizational impediments. Enabling the PO to be a single person and not a committee. Supporting the PO in the facilitation of stakeholders' alignment with product goals. Ensuring developers estimate product backlog items. Ensuring that regular and effective backlog refinement sessions are held. Supporting and facilitation and modeling of value for product backlog items. Ensure that any product backlog forecasting information used is as accurate and up-to-date as possible. Support the PO in creating an organization that values regular and frequent releases of product increments, that incorporates feedback from users and live product usage in the pursuit of business objectives. Helping employees and stakeholders understand and enact an empirical approach for complex work. Product owner anti-patterns. In Mural, do the product owner anti-patterns activity. Product owner role in Scrum events. In Mural, do the product owner role in Scrum events activity. The product owner roles in Scrum events. The Scrum framework is designed to enforce collaboration, primarily between the developers and the wider organization they are part of. In Scrum, the product owner represents the wider organization in the Scrum team. Therefore, all the events are key interaction points between the developers and the product owner. They were originally intentioned for poorly functioning organizations to force collaboration and an empirical approach. As a Scrum team matures, there should be ongoing and frequent feedback and input on the product from the product owner, not just in sprint reviews and sprint planning. Using Mural, put topics 1, 2, and 3 in boxes. Brainstorm the role of the PO in each of the planning topics. Topic 1. Why is this sprint valuable? The PO and developers collaborate to define a sprint goal, facilitated by the Scrum Master. Topic 2. What can be done this sprint? Through discussion with the product owner, the developers select items from the product backlog to include in the current sprint. Whilst the Scrum team may refine these items in the process, it is good practice for the Scrum team to refine backlog item prior to sprint planning. Topic 3. How will the chosen work get done? For each selected product backlog items, the developers plan the work necessary to create an increment that meets the definition of done. This is often done by decomposing product backlog items into smaller work items of 1 day or less. How this is done is at the sole discretion of the developers. No one else tells them how to turn product backlog items into increments of value. The product owner role in the sprint and daily Scrum. Providing ongoing guidance and feedback on the work in the sprint. Attending the daily Scrum. Refining the product backlog with stakeholders and developers to ensure that enough of the product backlog will be ready for the next sprint planning event. As part of backlog refinement work with the developers to discover and test new product ideas, ideally though working with real customers or users of the product to ensure the release of product increments are as successful as possible. Measure the effectiveness of the product increment towards business objectives, with a focus on real usage of released increments. Work with the stakeholders to set clear expectations of progress towards sprint and product goals. Work closely with key stakeholders. Action the output from the review and discuss with the appropriate stakeholders. Review new product backlog item requests from stakeholders. Coordinate future work with other stakeholders, including other product owners. Outside the sprint review, gain deeper and more insightful feedback on previous product increments from users and customers. Product owner role in sprint review. Scrum Master should make sure that the session is set up, ensure that everyone knows its purpose and hold the pace, facilitate time, activities, and behaviors. The product owner should invite and ensure the appropriate stakeholders are in the review. The SM should help ensuring stakeholders attend. Ensure the developers demonstrate the work that is done. Any work not done should not be demonstrated. The product owner should provide the context, the current product goal and sprint goal the team are working towards, where product backlog items the team worked on fit with the overall customer or user journey. Why these features have been implemented. Listen to feedback from the stakeholders, addressing issues if time allows, if not, ensure that it's noted and followed up after the review. The review is for product inspection and is there for transparency, to show progress and to highlight potential issues, not resolve them. The product owner role in retrospective. Retrospective allows teams to inspect and adapt primarily people, process, and tools that are helping or hindering their progress toward the product goals. Nurturing and actively promoting the areas that help. Address any impediments to progress towards their goals. The relationship between the product owner and the developers is fundamental in a successful team, therefore the Scrum Master and product owner should ensure that a strong positive relationships are maintained. Work together with the developers and Scrum Master to ensure progress is made towards improvements. As their role as a leader, the product owner should encourage and inspire the Scrum team to continually improve, setting and maintain high standards. Applying the role of the product owner. Many organizations do not organize their teams in a way that is aligned to products. They also have a project-based approach to approving and coordinating work. This means that it's quite a challenge for product owners to take on the full range of responsibilities outlined in the Scrum Guide. However, the most successful Scrum teams have a product owner that has a broad range of responsibility and is supported in their organization. Every Scrum implementation is different. Here are some of the more common example patterns. Product owner breadth. A more tactical product owner will fulfill the tasks shown here on the left. Order and manage the product backlog. Work proactively with the stakeholders. Primarily work on the next release. Work closely with the developers. Write and refine product backlog items. Attend Scrum events. A more strategic product owner, sponsor, or entrepreneur will be more focused on setting and track product performance measures, managing the product roadmap, carrying out tactical product owner activities, co-creating the product vision, setting clear business and product objectives, developing the product strategy. Our product ownership is. For a more tactical product owner, roles may focus more on scribe and proxy roles. A more strategic PO may assign roles of business representative, sponsor, and entrepreneur. Product owner in your organization. Returning to your mural setup, put all the responsibilities of the PO in mural post-its. Give some time to align your product owner responsibilities or those that they think they would be able to fulfill if they are about to embark on the role. What anti-patterns do you observe? How are you and the Scrum Master going to address them? What would need to happen to extend the role of the PO in your organization? Think small incremental changes. What bigger changes would need to happen to extend to an entrepreneurial type product owner? Who is a stakeholder? Use Mural to capture your ideas in the Who is a Stakeholder section. Stakeholder Scrum definition. From the Scrum Glossary. A person external to the Scrum team with a specific interest in and knowledge of a product that is required for incremental discovery. Represented by the product owner and actively engaged with the Scrum team at sprint review. Typical stakeholders might be the end users of a product, sponsors responsible for making product funding decisions, marketing, sales, operations, compliance, security, and those working on other related or dependent products. Anyone with a continued interest in how the product is developing. Stakeholder classification and mapping. Here we can see the connection between the power and influence of a stakeholder and their interest. Low influence and power results in little interest of stakeholders. On the opposite side, we see stakeholders of high influence and power, with high interest, playing a key role and engaging closely. Brainstorm a list of stakeholders. In Mural, brainstorm a list of stakeholders and put them in the power, interest grid we saw in the previous slide. Stakeholder engagement principles. Your stakeholders respect you and your contribution. They have a deep understanding of your customers, the analytics, the technology, your industry, and your business. Spend one-on-one time with the key stakeholders. Preview your solutions during discovery with the key stakeholders before you put this work on the product backlog. Move the discussion from opinions to data or evidence. Create a collaborative, mutually respectful personal relationship.